This is no ordinary celebrity feud. This is a full-blown, gloves-off, Hollywood cage match, Meghan Markle versus Tyler Perry. Two titans of modern fame, once seemingly allies, now reportedly at each other's throats in what could become the most scandalous legal clash of the year. And it all exploded in the most unexpected way, live, in front of millions during the BET Awards. Allegedly, while standing center stage, Perry took what should have been a heartfelt tribute moment and turned it into an exposé.
She talks like she's a one-woman band. That is not hard work. Hard work is get up in the morning, get to 7 o'clock, get into a factory or a shop and working for 10 hours on your feet, coming home knackered. That's not what happens to her.
And still being a mom.
Still being a mom.
Hey, lowly cameraman, come over here and try some fried chicken. Try the fried chicken. Try the fried chicken. We need to make it look like I actually care about my camera crew. Come get some fried chicken. Act like you're having fun. Act like you're having fun.
Oh my gosh, I worked so hard.
Instead of celebrating, he reportedly shocked the audience by leaking sealed financial records tied directly to Meghan's Montecito estate and the Archewell Foundation, the same foundation that's been under media scrutiny for months. No warning, no build-up, just a cold delivery of confidential numbers, allegedly exposing mountains of unpaid debt, suspicious filings, and financial discrepancies that had, until then, been kept under lock and key. And Meghan? She's not staying silent. She's reportedly filed a defamation lawsuit seeking $50 million in damages, claiming Perry's remarks were not just false, they were reckless, illegal, and designed to destroy her.
It's a real delight in being able to be a present parent. And it's a luxury sometimes because we all have to work. We all have a lot of stuff to do, but when you can take a minute to just...
Saturday morning.
The press show her wearing pretty much every colour in the rainbow. The show opens with the claim that the royal family declined to comment on the series. That's another lie. The palace says it received one email from an unknown company and attempts to verify it.
She spreads her legs, she hikes her dress, she circles her genital.
Sources close to the Duchess say she sees this as more than a betrayal. It's an all-out assault on her legacy. So, what really happened that night? And why is Oprah's name suddenly caught in the middle of this mess? This isn't just a scandal, it's a chessboard. And someone just tipped it over. The BET Awards 2025 were supposed to be a celebration. A glittering night of tributes, music, and legacy moments. But no one, absolutely no one, was prepared for what happened when Tyler Perry took the stage. He was introduced warmly, expected to deliver a tribute segment. But as he started speaking, something shifted.
His tone changed.
His expression hardened.
Before we even get to the main event.
When the stakes are this high, doesn't it make more sense to hear our story from us?
Oh, shut up. What do you mean the stakes are this high? Who do you think you are? Other than a latte-munching imbecile.
It was... If we're going to use the word betrayal, it's because when I asked him, which is also a really key point in all this, they don't report the news, they create the news.
The royals owe me. Harry owes me. Meghan owes me. What I've been through, I should be rewarded for.
Then came the moment that froze the room. Allegedly, Perry broke script and began discussing financial burdens he had once quietly helped with, before directly referencing documents tied to Meghan Markle's Montecito property and Archewell's funding breakdown. On live television, according to insiders who claimed to have seen the original teleprompter text, none of this was planned. Producers backstage were reportedly scrambling, unsure whether to cut the feed or let him continue. But Perry didn't stop. He doubled down, allegedly citing exact figures, including mortgage liabilities, default notices, and discrepancies in Archewell's tax filings. One audience member caught on video reportedly gasped, "Is this for real?" The crowd didn't clap. They didn't cheer. They just sat there, stunned. And the internet? It lit up like wildfire. Within 30 minutes.
Once they did, I remember being told there was a huge headline like, "We found him," or "We've got him." You're talking about someone's father. And from that point, the tabloids, they moved into the apartment next door and across from him.
Did it feel like betrayal when you found out your father was
working with the tabloids?
I'm just trying to decide if I'm comfortable even talking about that.
End of every episode, it says, like, the starring, Meghan, Duchess of Sussex.
Yes.
That's how she's mornings are as I get the kids off to school. You're making fruit parfait crudité boards? Like,
oh my God.
boom.
She is...
Clips of the moment went viral across every platform: YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. Hashtags like #PerryLeaks, #MeghanExposed, and #BET Bombshell began trending worldwide. Some fans were stunned. Others were furious. But everyone agreed. This was no ordinary award show moment. This was something explosive. And Meghan's response? It wasn't just private outrage. It was legal thunder.
Did you see my baby mama dance? I mean, stop it. First of all, can I just tell you, the timing of that, we maybe watched it like 20 times yesterday. And I was like, is that her?
Oh my God.
Is that Prince Harry there with the fingers and the, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But also, by the way, that wasn't yesterday.
No,
that was 4 years ago. So it's also a really great reminder that with all the noise or whatever people do, there's still a whole life, a real, authentic, fun life that's happening behind the scenes. I'm just grateful that now, being back on social as well, I have a place where I can share it on my own terms.
Yeah. Oh, it's so great. It's so authentic, isn't it?
Everybody says she's a bully. She's very nasty. Not only is she incredibly controlling, but she's a bitch about...
By Tuesday morning, just 48 hours after the BET debacle, court watchers in Los Angeles caught wind of something big. Meghan Markle had allegedly filed a $50 million defamation lawsuit against Tyler Perry, accusing him of intentionally damaging her reputation, violating sealed court orders, and leaking confidential financial records that were never meant for public consumption. According to insiders with access to early filings, Meghan's legal team wasted no time. The suit reportedly outlines a series of claims, including defamation per se, breach of confidentiality, and emotional distress. The heart of the case? That Perry, in his now viral BET speech, referenced private, sealed financial documents that he had no legal right to disclose. Sources close to the case say these documents were allegedly tied to prior legal matters involving Archewell's status as a charitable foundation, documents that had been sealed after private arbitration. Meghan's team is arguing that Perry's disclosure constitutes not only defamation but also a breach of multiple NDA agreements and possibly even court-sealed terms. What's more, the timing was no coincidence. Meghan's team claims the BET Awards weren't just a slip-up or spontaneous rant. They were a calculated hit, meant to humiliate her during one of the most visible moments in Black entertainment. And they're painting Perry not as a rogue actor, but as a man with a personal vendetta.
Harry Sussex? I have no idea. And no, Meghan, no one knew that. Like, why are you correct?
I'm going to show you how to make a happy, warm, loving home after I have successfully severed my husband's ties from his entire family.
It's about an hour-long cab ride. Never seen his grandchildren. This show is packed with the kind of spurious claims and hypocrisy that have become the Sussex signature. We learned they began making videos about their heroic journey 6 months before their Netflix deal was even announced, and right at the start of a pandemic that was killing.
Meanwhile, Perry's camp has remained tight-lipped, but some insiders suggest he believes he was speaking truth to power, and that any documents he referenced were already in the public domain. Meghan's side vehemently denies that. And buried deep in the court documents, a shocking detail, the name Oprah Winfrey appears under potential witnesses. A name that could shift the tide of this entire case. But we'll get to that next. In a twist no one saw coming, court insiders revealed that Oprah Winfrey has been officially listed as a potential witness in Meghan's lawsuit against Tyler Perry. That name alone set the entire media landscape on fire.
Why?
Because Oprah is the only known mutual party between Perry and Meghan, possibly the only person who would know exactly when, where, and how Perry got access to those allegedly sealed financial documents. Remember, it was Oprah who gave Meghan and Harry their most explosive interview to date, the one that aired to nearly 50 million people worldwide. It was Oprah who reportedly opened her compound to the couple when they first left the royal family. And it was Oprah who, for years, was considered one of Meghan's most trusted confidants. So the fact that she's now being pulled into this legal brawl, potentially forced to testify under oath, is massive. According to sources close to the situation, Meghan's legal team believes Oprah may have been present, or at least involved, during moments when Perry allegedly obtained the confidential files in question. The filings even hint that she may have discussed Archewell's finances during off-the-record conversations with both parties. But here's where things get even more suspicious. Oprah has gone completely silent. Not a statement. Not a comment. Not even a cryptic social media post. She's gone dark, completely off the radar. Media outlets have reportedly reached out to her reps for comment and received nothing but no comment and closed doors. Is Oprah distancing herself to protect her empire? Is she consulting lawyers behind the scenes to avoid a subpoena? Or is she preparing to testify, quietly, strategically, and with surgical precision? No one knows for sure. But if Oprah takes the stand, she could single-handedly confirm whether Perry's BET speech was based on actual private knowledge, or if he went rogue with misinformation. Either way, her involvement could blow this entire thing wide open. And the longer she stays silent, the more powerful her voice becomes. If Perry's alleged BET leak was the match, the internet was the gasoline. Within hours, the online world detonated. Twitter timelines collapsed under the weight of hashtags like hashtag Meghan vs. Perry, hashtag BET scandal, and hashtag Oprah silence, while TikTok creators wasted no time chopping up the broadcast into frame-by-frame breakdowns. Millions tuned in to reaction videos, with some influencers describing the moment as Hollywood's version of a royal public execution. Others called it a betrayal wrapped in applause, accusing Perry of throwing Meghan under the bus to reclaim relevance. Supporters of Meghan Markle didn't hold back. High-profile fan accounts claimed Perry violated her trust, leveraging their once-private alliance for a viral moment. They flooded comment sections with phrases like fake friend, media opportunist, and career over. Some even went as far as to suggest Perry had been secretly bitter ever since Meghan declined to collaborate on a rumored project in 2023. But Perry wasn't without defenders. His supporters argue that he was simply telling the truth, and that Meghan's team had been manipulating public narratives for years. One viral video titled Justice Perry, The Secrets They Didn't Want You to Hear, garnered over 10 million views in 48 hours, spinning Perry's moment into a righteous act of whistleblowing. The media took sides quickly. OK. Magazine ran the headline, Meghan's dirty laundry aired at BET. Perry faces legal fury. Page 6 countered with, sources close to Perry say he's prepared to go all the way. Even Reuters ran a piece analyzing the potential fallout for both parties, framing the moment as a cautionary tale of Hollywood entanglements gone wrong. Let's break that down. Behind the headlines, hashtags, and viral outrage lies the core of the drama, a $50 million defamation lawsuit. And it's not just about gossip, it's about law, intent, and reputation. To win this case, Meghan's legal team must prove several critical points. First and foremost, they need to establish that Perry made false statements. Not just statements that were mean or dramatic or poorly timed, false ones, capable of causing reputational damage. Second, they must prove malice. That means showing Perry didn't just blurt something out in ignorance. He allegedly knew it was false, or showed reckless disregard for the truth, and did it anyway. That's the legal bar for public figures. And it's high. Third, they need to show harm. That Meghan's brand, business deals, and personal life suffered direct and measurable consequences as a result. And given Archewell's recent financial scrutiny, they'll need airtight evidence showing that Perry's words triggered new fallout. But here's the wild card. The documents Perry referenced. Were they actually sealed? Did he obtain them through legal means? Were they already public and Meghan's team is spinning damage control? These questions are now front and center. If Perry's legal team can prove that any of the financial figures were part of previous court proceedings, nonprofit disclosures, or leaked via other sources, they may argue he was merely commenting on publicly available facts, which is generally protected speech under U.S. law. That brings us right back to Oprah. If she testifies that Perry was present when the documents were shared in private, or that she herself was a conduit for sealed information, Meghan's case strengthens dramatically. But if Oprah distances herself, or denies ever discussing the documents, Perry's team will pounce. They'll claim Meghan weaponized a friendship to silence criticism, turning legal filings into a PR war. Either way, this trial could set precedent. It's not just about Perry versus Meghan. It's about how far celebrities can go to control narratives and how far others can go to disrupt them. And with depositions, subpoenas, and trial dates looming, the next move in this chess match might be the one that changes everything. This is no ordinary lawsuit. This is not just a squabble between two public figures. What's happening between Meghan Markle and Tyler Perry threatens to reshape how power, privacy, and public image collide in modern-day Hollywood. And the stakes? Astronomical. For Meghan, this isn't simply about reclaiming $50 million. It's about regaining control of the narrative. Every project she touches, whether it's a podcast, a book deal, or a Netflix series, relies on one thing: public perception. If the world begins to view her as financially unstable or dishonest about her charitable foundations, her entire brand begins to crumble. And this goes far beyond just Archewell. Meghan has long been exploring ventures in lifestyle media, children's publishing, documentaries, wellness branding, many of which require corporate trust, partnerships, and clean optics. If companies fear backlash or suspect financial misconduct even by association, they pull out. Quietly. Permanently. So while the lawsuit names a $50 million figure, the true cost of losing could be 10 times that. Lost sponsorships, brand withdrawals, investor hesitation, and media blackouts. For Tyler Perry, the stakes are different, but just as lethal. His empire was built on loyalty, trust, and discretion. He's the man who gave unknown actors their first break, the man who helped high-profile stars rebuild their careers away from scandal. He's known not just as a creator, but as a confidant, as someone who never talks unless it's with purpose. So to be accused of leaking sealed financial documents, that cuts to the very core of his persona. If he's found liable in court, it's not just a financial judgment, it's a credibility collapse. Hollywood insiders may start whispering, can he be trusted? Public figures might think twice before confiding in him. Studios may worry about keeping him in the loop. And worst, more lawsuits could come. Because once one case cracks open a breach of privacy, others start asking questions. How many other sensitive details has he allegedly discussed? Are other celebrity skeletons buried in his vault? And then there's the bigger picture. This case could trigger a Hollywood privacy reckoning. If the court rules in Meghan's favor, it could empower more public figures to sue over leaks, whispers, and off-the-record disclosures. Suddenly, every producer, agent, and media exec would be under legal threat every time they drop a name at dinner. So yes, this is about two celebrities. But it's also about something far bigger. It's about fear, power, and who controls the story. Here's the bottom line. Meghan Markle allegedly hit first when Tyler Perry brought sealed files into the public eye. She retaliated with a $50 million lawsuit that could rewrite Hollywood's rulebook on confidentiality. Oprah's silence raises the stakes. This isn't over. The next courtroom clash could unveil the biggest piece of Hollywood's royal puzzle yet. Stay tuned. This legal war might only be beginning.